It's wrapping up o'clock. I'm Zimu, and thank you so much for tuning in. It's so good to be back with you once again. Now, in case you missed it, you're about to hear a wrap-up of this past week's most trending news stories. So the week started off with the Trade and Industry Minister, Minister Patel, actually ensuring that data costs are reduced by 50% in the next 2 months. This after the data service inquiry revealed that data in South Africa is quite excessive and anti-poor. And the Competition Commission has given MTN and Vodacom these 2 months to ensure that data costs are reduced to 50%, or otherwise they will face prosecution. And I was looking at social media, including Twitter. People are very happy. South Africans are very happy to say, finally, the data costs are going to be reduced. It's about time. We've been really proud of our data. And I want to know from you whether you think 2 months is too long or it should be done in a much lesser time. Your views really do matter. Another story that we saw trending is of the lives that have been lost in Oliver Houtbosch taxi rank in Pretoria due to a taxi violence over some taxi routes. And the number increased to 8 as of yesterday, where a taxi official was gunned down by 2 suspects who were seen fleeing the scene after they shot him, and police are currently looking for them. I think that taxi violence is something that will never end in South Africa. And what the cause usually is, what I've noticed is that it's a recurring pattern of taxi violence. And may the soul of this taxi official and the other 7 people who lost their lives rest in peace. Give your views on the story as well. Another one that we saw trending is of who is a lady, an 18-year-old schoolgirl that was killed brutally. She was stabbed 25 times. And she was not only stabbed, but the suspect also dosed her with petrol and set her alight. And this happened a week after Precious Ramabulana was also killed in a similar way, where she was stabbed 52 times. And what the family of this suspect said is that they don't care how the law will actually deal with him. And if it was actually them that experienced this ordeal, they would also allow any sentence to be actually pinned on the suspect. And what I was very shocked about is that this suspect has a rape history. Apparently, when he was younger, he was involved in some rape case, and I guess that it was gone unattended. That's why he has repeated a similar offense years later. So give your views on that story as well. I am really shocked. It's really sad how gender-based violence is just continuing. It's like one story after the other and nothing is being done. So I want you to give your views on that story. Do you see a South Africa free of gender-based violence or not? Another one we saw was of the protests at the South Coast in KwaZulu-Natal, protests against gender-based violence, where the people were saying that they are tired of how women are being killed each and every day and nothing is being done about it. And they actually said that the gender-based violence in this country has reached a crisis level. And I'd just like to add that it's not a crisis level only in KZN, but it's also a crisis in the whole nation. Even places like Gugulethu in the Eastern Cape, we've seen some protesters coming forth also saying the same thing, that the government really needs to revise its strategies regarding curbing gender-based violence in South Africa. May the soul of Homulimo also rest in peace. Another one that we saw is load shedding. Oh my God, can I yawn? Like, how can load shedding come in a weekend of rains and it's cold? And Eskom says that they have to do it because of the capacity within the power utility. It's on a crisis mode, and unfortunately they have to make sure that they curb it. And we experienced load shedding at 2 p.m. yesterday on Friday, and it took place throughout the night. And as of this morning, Eskom said that they are going to implement stage 2 load shedding. And if you want to know more about that, just go on their website to actually find out what the schedules are like. It's really boring. Give your views on that story. Another one that we saw trending is of the new Johannesburg mayor being elected, while also in Pretoria, in Tshwane, the EFF went to court because of Mogalapo, who was suspended due to sexual scandals, and that's why the Tshwane area has not been having any mayor at all. So it's quite a big one for Tshwane. It's a crisis. It's a crisis. Do give your views on that story as well. Who do you think should be the next mayor in the city of Tshwane? Give your views on that story. Another one that we saw trending is of the passing of the gospel singer Neyi Zimu, who passed away due to cancer. He battled a long battle with skin cancer, and unfortunately he succumbed on Wednesday, if I'm not mistaken. And a lot of pour-outs, national pour-outs have been coming through on social media, on television as well, with people and citizens celebrating the life of the late star. Not only has South Africa lost, not only has the gospel music scene lost, but also the Vaal Triangle region where he comes from, it has also lost a giant in the gospel music scene. May his soul rest in peace. Another one that we saw trending is of Standard Bank actually withdrawing their sponsorship for Cricket South Africa due to their reputation, and this after Mourning was suspended with pay due to conduct, and Standard Bank said they won't have it, and next year in April they will not renew their contract with Cricket SA, and this is about to cause a lot of tables to turn. It's a big one because Standard Bank has been sponsoring Cricket SA for the longest time, and it's really bad. It's really bad. Do give your views on that story. And moving further afield, we saw that President Cyril Ramaphosa went to West Africa. It was the West Africa tour for actually strengthening the economic and political ties and relations. And we hope that it goes well, and I'll give you an update on that story in the next episode. Another one that we saw trending is of the Ndlovu Youth Choir's album, Africa, that trended. It topped the charts on the iTunes days after it was released, and you must notice that this is the album from which some signature songs actually came out that actually took the choir from Limpopo right to the world stage, making them appear on America's Got Talent, which actually sees about 100 million viewers. It has a viewership of about 100 million viewers, and we salute them and we celebrate them. May they continue to rise and shine. Proudly South African right there. So do give your views on all the stories that you heard right now, and that is just about the wrap up of the week's trending news stories that I had for you this week. I'll be back again next week, and do remember to like, to share, and to subscribe. I'll be back again next week. Shop, shop.